Mr. Speaker, winter has come early to New Brunswick, and that's got a lot of caring New Brunswickers concerned about the plight of the homeless in our province. And homelessness, Mr. Speaker, has increased to levels that haven't been seen in recent memory. In Fredericton, there are people living outdoors in tents, some without. In Moncton, it's estimated there are 120 people sleeping outside. St. John faces similar problems. There's an urgent need, Mr. Speaker, for emergency funding to enable churches and other community-minded organizations to bring people in from the cold. So my question is, will the Minister of Social Development act swiftly to ensure that emergency funding is provided to those organizations to ensure all New Brunswickers have a warm, safe, dry place to sleep at night?
The Minister for Social Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate the question coming from the member from Fredericton South and leader of his party. A week ago Friday, the Mayor of Moncton, with the RCMP, had uprooted a small tent city, forcing about 20 people out in further into the cold. And while those actions, some people may talk about, but the fact is that it brought to light the very prominent fact that we have people living in cold, and we can't live with that. So we have mobilized. We have people on the ground who are assessing the situation. They're talking with the people of Moncton, and they're talking with churches and community leaders to understand what we can do. We're also having that conversation in Fredericton and other municipalities to make sure that we can do whatever we can do. We do need to take emergency measures, and those details are being worked on now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member for Période South, leader of his party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and through you to the Minister, thank you for the clear and concrete response. Monsieur le Président, l'itinérance est un terrible symptôme de problèmes bien plus graves qui sont négligés depuis beaucoup trop longtemps. Quand on n'a pas d'adresse fixe, on ne peut pas recevoir de l'aide au revenu. Et si on reçoit de l'aide au revenu, le montant est tellement faible qu'on ne peut pas se permettre un appartement à moins d'avoir une collecteur. Mais ça, c'est interdit. Et quand on vit avec une maladie mentale ou une dépendance, il n'y a pas d'aide pour garder un domicile fixe, même si on vous fournit un logement. En juillet, le Nouveau-Brunswick a conclu avec Ottawa un accord de 300 millions de dollars qui avait pour but de diminuer l'itinérance. Quand le ministre va-t-il consulter les députés de cette Chambre pour s'assurer que l'argent sera bien dépensé?
The Minister for Social Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I could not agree more that homelessness is a very complex issue, and it's been around a lot longer than any of us would like to acknowledge. On 2 points that the member asked about, first of all, the very first question I asked of the staff of social development was to understand how someone without a home address could still receive social development benefits, and we're working on that now to find a way to, whether it be through Salvation Army, whether it be through Red Cross, whether it be through local community groups, to find a way how individuals without a home address can still receive benefits. I also have to say that the minimum benefit is to what we call socially employable individuals. And I also have asked the question of, we obviously know that individuals that we might deem employable are probably not, and may in fact be disabled. And so how do we deem that disability and make sure that their benefits are increased as...
Time, Minister.